Welcome back to another edition of History in Your Own Backyard. I'm your host, Susie Selleck. Today we are in Aurora, Indiana. I'm here with Roy Lambert, joining us here at the Aurora Public Library.
Yes,
Roy,
that's
thanks
correct.
for being here.
You're welcome.
So let me ask you: the original founders in 1819, were they thinking that they wanted to put a library here?
The original founders, when they drew out the building lots in Aurora, designated lot 2008 up on what is now 5th Street. When the map was originally built or made, 5th Street was called Literary Street. And so that stands to reason that the library was going to be built on Literary Street.
You'd think.
Now, there's a street called Judiciary Street that dead ends in Literary Street, and it goes to City Lot number 7. So we have Judiciary Street ending in Literary Street with the library block right down the road. I firmly believe that our original founders of Aurora wanted the county seat to be in Aurora, and they wanted it at City Block number 7. They already had the street named Literary Street, they already had the library down the road, and they already had a road called Judiciary Street going up to the proposed county seat. So it all works out.
I would say that it does. So where was that library located previously?
It's hard to tell where the first library was because it was never on Literary Street and it was never in lot 208.
As planned.
It was downtown here someplace. I believe it was in the last block on on 2nd Street, which the library is on right now. And history tells us from old newspapers that the first library was probably in the Milburn jewelry store.
Oh, okay, and that's what's there today?
There's nothing, I don't know where it's at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
long since gone.
Got you. Okay. All right. So were they originally, the founders, were they wanting this? This reminds me a lot of a Carnegie Library. Is this Carnegie Library?
Carnegie libraries look just like this. They would walk up a set of steps, an elevated set of steps to a building of knowledge. But this is not a Carnegie Library.
But it is, in fact, you go up the steps and here's
It
the building of knowledge.
okay. It looks like a Carnegie
I've been
Library.
deceived, but it's not. Okay.
It's not. I'm not sure how many Carnegie libraries there are in Indiana, but I suspect at least over 50.
Well, right, there's tons around the country.
Yeah,
but-
all over.
And then you think that there's about 50 in Indiana?
Possibly, maybe.
Okay. It's a nice showing.
But most people in Aurora think this is a Carnegie Library.
Talk about the construction, who funded that, how that all went down.
This library, there's a plaque outside. It was funded by Georgiana Sutton.
Okay.
And her father was a pioneer doctor here in Aurora. And they had a type of mansion home up on top of a hill right over there on Sutton's Hill. And Georgiana Sutton was never married. But she traveled throughout the world. And she inherited quite a bit of money from her father. And upon her death, she wanted some of her money to be used to build a library. And that came to fruition in 1914, and that's what you see today is the Georgiana Sutton Library, not a Carnegie Library.
Gotcha. Ah, she had good taste.
She had very good taste.
Yeah. So, and that was in 1914.
That was 1914.
Built. So, and that was the original structure.
That original structure.
Now, has there been some additions added since?
Yeah, the part of the library we're in right now, what you see is the desk and the old office back here is the original library. The two wings to our left and to our right
Yes.
is additions.
Okay.
That was the latest additions. They were done in 1997.
97, yes.
But there was an original addition on this room, the reading room here to our left, that was done in about 1924. And of course, downstairs has been remodeled several times. It used to be just a basement, but after several remodels, that's where the children's library is, and that's where videos are, and that's where the main offices are.
Roy, this building also owns, is it the old train depot building as
Yes,
well?
they do.
It's like a block away from here.
1 block.
So what happens there? Is it a library?
That train depot, the last person who rode out of the depot was in 1971, and then it closed. No more riders on the train. And then it became many, many, many different things. And the library came up for sale, and the library decided to buy it so it wouldn't get used for something that it shouldn't be used for.
Okay.
So the library bought it, and we moved the history and genealogy department to
Really?
the train depot.
Oh.
And so about 3 times a day we hear the building shake from the trains going by.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's really a unique building. It looks like it's history and genealogy room. It didn't look like it here, but now you get the feel in that building for a research building.
Yeah.
You just know it's for research.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, Roy, is there anything that I haven't asked you about, that you might know as, a man who definitely knows his history on, Aurora and the town and the people? Is there anything, like a gem that you want to pull up that I haven't asked you about?
Well, one thing I just found out recently is about the front of the building. There is 4 large circles,
Okay.
and they're rookwood pottery circles.
Pottery circles.
Are you familiar with rookwood pottery?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Rookwood. I
Yeah.
missed that you said Rookwood.
Yeah.
Okay, Rookwood. Cool. Yes, I am familiar.
And there's 4 of these large circles, about 18 inches in
Yeah.
diameter. There's 2 circles and then this large blank spot.
Okay.
So I called up Rookwood the other day and asked them if they knew anything about them making anything for a library in 1914.
What did they say?
They said they don't have any records of anything like that, but they asked me to describe it. And I found out that there was supposed to be something in the center of each circle. So I got out old pictures of the library, and on a really bad picture, I did see some 3-dimensional something on the inside. And so now I got to go back up to Rookwood, and they said they have some pictures of things like that. So I'm going to go up there and look at what may have been on the inside of those circles.
You'll have to keep me posted. Now this is like a big mystery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have to solve it. We'll solve it in the comments below. It'll be cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you and when did you learn about that?
2 days ago.
No. Oh, it's mysterious. Yeah. Okay, that's very cool. I love that you just shared that with us. Thank you. And great information here today
Now,
too.
I got to tell you about the 1937 flood.
Oh, yeah, that hit the whole,
The 37 flood, all of Aurora was underwater. All downtown Aurora was underwater.
Yes.
It was very high. The 37 flood, we're standing in floodwater right now. Even though this building is extremely elevated.
Yes, it is.
That there was water maybe 6 inches deep inside this building. So no books were destroyed, no books got wet. But it just shows you how high the water was here.
So was the library temporarily closed down?
Yeah.
I assume, did they use it at all as a place to be able to
No.
host people now?
No,
okay.
no, no.
Okay. That's not what I asked. Did they all stay on the shelves during that time? Or
No,
were
I
they
think they
kind of
moved
boxed
the
up
lower,
and taken?
lower level of books and took them other places in town, but it had to have been far, far away because everything was flooded. Wow. Everything. Now, I also would like to talk about when they built this library.
Okay, yeah.
That if you notice, this is the highest elevation in town.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think there's a reason for that.
Do tell.
The 1885 history speaks of Indian mounds in Aurora.
Oh, yeah.
And there is a possibility that this is that Indian mound, because I know they didn't bring in dirt to elevate this building.
Right.
Because I saw a picture of the original building that was here, and it was a home, and it was already elevated.
Okay.
So there's a possibility that Aurora Library is built on a very, very old Indian mound.
Now, do other people think that too, or is this like your speculation?
That's my speculation.
You know what? You're a wise man. I'm going to go with you on this. I'm going with you on this. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you have any more cool stuff like that? It's okay if you don't. What you gave me was
No
pretty
ghost
sick.
stories. No,
okay.
no ghost stories.
Wait, you really?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless
Fair.
Georgiana Sutton's ghost may slip.
I mean,
in
clearly
her.
her style and legacy is all
Yes,
around here.
it's all
but
around here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look for her later when we're touring. But
Well, in fact, there is a mock-up of her in the other room here.
there?
And
Good.
they store it at the Dillsboro Library, which is part of the Aurora District Library. And people are afraid to go in the basement down there because they're afraid of Georgiana.
I bet she was one tough cookie. Never married, decided, loves knowledge.
Yeah.
She would have been a friend of mine for sure. Thank you for watching another episode of History in Your Own Backyard. I'm Susie Selleck. Today we were in Aurora, Indiana, here at the Aurora Public Library. Roy Lambert, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for coming to Aurora.
Yeah, and remember, travel slowly and stop often. Bye for now.